With the salary cap stimulus of the Anthony Barr restructure hitting the Vikings bank, they're back in the game, big game hunting for one more big time free agent piece. Let's go. One of those players, our guy Darren Doogie Wolfson, KSTP Sports alluded to on his podcast, is former Kansas City Chiefs left tackle Eric Fisher. Now, Fisher and fellow tackle Mitchell Schwartz were massacred a few weeks ago by the Chiefs to save cap, which then they threw at Kyle Long and Jumbo Joe Thuney. Plus, apparently they were in on Trent Williams for like a hot second, which is kind of funny. And we initially put out a video a couple weeks ago about why the Vikings should be out on both of them. Mainly, it had to do with money, because I thought that Schwartz and even Fisher were going to get some decent change. And at that time, the Vikings hadn't brought along Tomlinson, they hadn't brought along Peterson, they hadn't cleared up a bunch of cap space out. I was sort of And I thought Fisher, for sure, even in a down cap year, would have a significant market given his age as well as a solid play in 2020, despite missing the Super Bowl with injury. But that market hasn't materialized. It hasn't come together, and I don't think it will, because you look at free agency and left tackles, besides Trent Williams, who re-signed with the Niners, the highest paid left tackle in NFL history, they're simply not getting paid. And Reef only got a one-year $7.5 million deal, plus you still have Russell Okung, Alejandro Villanueva, and Jason Peters still hanging out there. So there is some supply, and the demand ain't really there. And if you look at the draft, it is loaded at left tackle specific prospects. Penei Sewell, Christian Darrisaw, Rashawn Slater, Cosme Radunz, James Hudson, etc. You go down the list, there's a lot of guys that are really intriguing. So I doubt that Fisher is going to hammer big time money at this stage of free agency, especially with the draft coming up in about a month. I think $7, maybe $8 million a year, probably on a 1, maybe 2 year deal, might be the top of his market, which would be fine. The Vikings currently have about $9.1 million in space, which is more than enough for one more big ticket item. And Fisher, respect, does get dinged for not living up to his number 1 overall pick status of 2013. But he's only 30 years old, and last year he posted an 80.1 PFF grade, the best in his career, only allowing 35 pressures and 3 sacks and 4 penalties. And he's still a physical freak. He's been consistently a top 15-ish left tackle in the league for years. So he really is like a younger, looper version of Riley Reef. He's solid for the right price. So now, if you sign Fisher, I think that he has to be your left tackle. Sorry, Ezra. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I don't think you flip him to right tackle and then move Brian O'Neill. I don't think you kick him down inside to guard, where he's never played a snap in his career. So I think that if you do bring in Fisher, he is going to be your left tackle day one. But left to right, Fisher, Ezra at left guard, which again has more emphasis on movement skills, Bradbury, Olisimaka Udo, as well as Brian O'Neill. That's a damn good offensive line. Like, you will take that. You could do a lot worse heading to the draft and then still hammer that damn offensive line. And then you pick up some guys, maybe even the first round, maybe even you even get Darrisaw or Slater or AVT or whatever, and then they don't have the pressure of having to start right away. They can dip their toe into the waters and get acclimated to the National Football League before you just throw them to the wolves. So I would love that setup. I would. The Vikings do have the cap to do that. Plus, I mean, you could still sign Forrest Lamp. You could still work in a way where you structure it properly with Fisher. Maybe you go after Trey Turner. Maybe you pick up a tackle and a guard, or a tackle and a safety, or tackle, guard, safety. Woo, trifecta. Hit that up. So, again, even though initially I was sort of on Eric Fisher, it was mostly about price. But if you get him in the building for the right price, $6, $7, $8 million a year, and see if he can still play at a decently high level, you get a younger, cheaper upgrade over Riley Reef, and you solidify this offensive line once and for all with some more free agency and that draft. Fired up, man. Can we have our cake and eat it too, where the Vikings get Dalvin Tomlinson and Patrick Peterson and Nick Vigil and some offensive line help, and then you hammer the draft and your 11 freaking picks? Used to be 12, but yes, let's do it. Your thoughts? Vikings, Eric Fisher, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, pull some of the Venmo, but until next time, Skol, production value.